Good afternoon, 6-4 parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with your math update. But before we get to that, just two quick things. One, I know traditional does not have school on Monday. We do have school on Monday, so kids should be here on Monday. And Friday is our last day, all right? We have school on Friday. That's our last day. We track out after that. All right, in Math 6 next week, we'll be doing a little bit more with percentages, and then we'll start our study guide and have our quiz on percentages. So our quiz will be Thursday. The study guide is also due on Thursday next week. Math 6 Plus, we will do a little bit more talking about surface area and volume. We'll talk a little bit about exponents as well and have a study guide and a quiz in Math 6 Plus as well. That quiz will be Thursday again. Study guide is also due Thursday. That quiz will be on surface area and exponents. All right. Have a great weekend. We'll see everybody on Monday.
All righty, we're going to do apologize in advance for all the notes that we're going to go over. So this past week, we finished up our Percy Jackson novel, and the students did an assessment on that with the last chapters, and they had a themes and myths assessment. This used to be a major, and as a major, having used to be a major, it was more difficult. It covered more content. It had quite a few texts on there, and the students were comparing and contrasting texts and a new text. So if the grade wasn't quite as high as a student might have been hoping, the grades were still very good in general, but I just wanted you guys to know it used to be a major, and majors typically are a little bit more difficult than just a regular classroom assessment. For work recovery, we do have work recovery options in ELA. So for any student that has no missing work, there will be an assignment that I am going to post today in Google Classroom. It is called Be a Fit Kid. Students can choose to complete this assignment. It's an article. They will read the article. It's nonfiction and answer questions. And this new grade will take the place of the second lowest grade in ELA. And that is because the lowest grade will already automatically be dropped at the end of the quarter. So this new Be a Fit Kid assignment is due by next Friday, September 30th, by the end of the day. All right, moving into next week, we have the movie Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. It's going to be part of our ELA lessons. From Wednesday through Friday, we will watch a portion of the movie and complete an activity each day that corresponds with that section. We're going to be comparing and contrasting the text in the movie using a Venn diagram. Students will be answering questions about both the text and the movie, and then we have an escape room. If you do not want your student to participate in the movie, please send a note stating that you would prefer them not to watch the movie, and we will give alternative lessons on those days instead. Next week, also, we have Media Center LLC on Tuesday. Students will be checking out novels for over track out. At that time, Ms. Stern is also going to be collecting our Percy Jackson novels. So students need to make sure that they have those with them and bring them to school on Tuesday so they can be turned in. And Wednesday, we have a vocabulary in context quiz. Students did a practice today. They were to write down which words they missed so they know which ones to study and which ones were already in their toolkit. And that will be on Wednesday of next week. All right, have a great weekend.
All right, 6-4L Science. This week we focused on physical properties of matter. We did a lot of mass and volume on earlier in the week. We went into density, and then we worked from, having lessons together and having lessons independently on Thursday. And they had to find densities of rocks and cubes and erasers and all sorts of things. So that's pretty cool. Then we will be focusing on solubility, and then we'll be investigating the gummy bear next week. So I'm looking forward to those things, concluding our physical properties of matter. And there were some changes this week that I want you to be aware of. On Thursday, I took away the ability, after I had kids open questions about the activity, they were not allowed to ask me questions during the activity. And that caused a stir for some and not a stir for others. And then today we did a Google check-in they did not have the ability to retake it. And this is going to be something that we will be doing going forward. My goal is to have two things: have your kids build their confidence and independence, but also having them do their best work the first time. And I think the kids, they understood it. It was still open note, so it was fair. But that's what we'll be doing going forward. All right. Hope you have a great weekend. Weather looks fantastic.
All right, friends, let's talk social studies. By the way, Monday is Rosh Hashanah, so if you are of the Jewish faith, it is a day that you can take off with religious observances. But if not, yes, we do have school in the traditional calendar has the day off, but we of course do not. Wait, did I say that backwards? I said that backwards, didn't I? We have school, they do not. Sorry. Now, let's talk about social studies real quickly, and then we'll get out of here. So first things first, if you look over there, you'll see in social studies, find someone at home and explain common foods the Sumerian diet included. That was our essential question today. We're doing exit ticket weekly quizzes. I'm telling kids to write in this part of their agenda every day that we do the essential question and talk about it, to have that written down so they have notes that they can use. That's totally acceptable. I'm finding about maybe a third of the students are actually doing that, but it's something maybe you want to think about and talk about at home. Each weekday, those essential questions, we do a weekly quiz on it at the end of the week. We did it today. Yesterday, we had a great day with survival, where students had to use tools like this, depending on which one you got. The assignment became very easy. To collect water, they had to use tools like these to build shelters, and then they had to find these hiding in the grass as food. So talk to your students a little bit about that game that we played in class yesterday on survival, finding food, water, and shelter, and some of the difficulties that they found surviving in the ancient world. We've been talking about Mesopotamia. Next week, we will talk about Egypt, the Nile River, and some of the important things about that part of the world as we finish our unit on geography. When we track back in the second quarter, we start with our unit on world religions. And so one of the world religions we will be talking about is the Jewish faith, and Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and some of those important days in that calendar. If you have any questions, let us know. If not, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.